modern day society has evolved so much, can traditional religious doctrines keep up with changing perspectives? Joining us now for this conversation is Pastor Dr. Ruth Olison and spiritual coach Goddess Jessie. Glad to have you here both on the Factor Uncensored.
Thank you.
Good to see you both. So individuals, as you know, we progress as a society, people move away from the old religious structures that we have been learned for years and years and years. And so now many people may not go to church, but they feel like they're spiritual or they believe in God. Are those things acceptable as a religious leader, Dr. Ruth?
Everyone is free to make his or her own choice as to how they relate to God. I relate to God as a Christian, as a follower of Yeshua Christ, and I had that personal relationship. So everyone gets to make that choice, and I'm not the one to judge that choice. Do I want people to come to church? I do, because I think that religion, good religion, a religion of love, helps improve the world, helps improve life for everybody. Hospitals, schools, so many things grew out of people's love for God, which led to love for each other. So I hope that people still come to the traditional church, but they have the right not to.
And recently there was a study done that few Americans, which is rare, less than 50% now believe in God. Is that disturbing to you?
No, I think that that's job security for me. Yeah, so I get that it's hard to live in the world. The world has totally changed, and I think Goddess will agree with that. It has totally changed. So we're in a whole different playing field, but it's an opportunity because people still need love, people still need God, people still need to discover who they are, and that's my job, and I absolutely love it. So.
And for you, is this less, or with society, less about faith now and more about proof and what we can see and what we believe in that we can see?
I think it's a balance of both. You know, we talk about the new age spirituality and it being different from traditional, but I think that what people are rediscovering is actually what is older and more antiguous than what has been pushed out today. Is just like traditional, everyone necessarily has to go to this one building to find God, because I guarantee you God is outside of that building, God is at McDonald's, God is everywhere. And so I think that people, especially for what I practice in like an African traditional practice, they're connecting to nature, which you can prove, they're connecting to, you know, their own spirit, they're connecting back to their ancestors, and that's just, you know, practices that have been ripped from us, you know, before slavery, before many things that happened that were very genocidal. So I think that really the old is becoming new just because we're in this age of information, and now people are able to have access to that information that has been, you know, hidden or, you know, not known to us. And now they're seeing that maybe they were sitting inside the church and they felt the prayers are good, the songs are good, but something's missing. Right. And now there are practices that they're being exposed to bring practice to the prayer, where maybe they're not running from the church or running from God, but maybe they're running from the social political parts that they have with the church hurt and different things like that, and not necessarily faith or God per se. So I think when people say they're spiritual or they're getting more, you know, tapped into their ancestry, it's nothing doing that they're doing but getting them closer to God and the God within themselves, versus, you know, having to go to a church to find God. Everyone has the access to have church at home if they have the right information.
All right, people already working from home too damn much. Now you want church.
Now you want church from home. And I think everything she just said is biblical.
There you go. All right, thank you.